Hey folks, I just beat some dude in chess. I got him with a real funky checkmate. I like this checkmate that I got him with. I kind of set him up real good, and I do that to dudes a lot. You know, I set them up by basically drawing them in and tempting them to temptation. I call it fighting temptation. You know what I mean? Because when you put one of you kind of you sacrifice one of your pieces, and they not looking at the big picture. They looking at the immediate future, and they looking at the fact that, wow, I got the opportunity to get another piece off the board, but they don't really focus on that king, and look at the fact that that king is vulnerable. You know what I mean? And that's how I got him. So look at this game. You know what I mean? I think it was a pretty competitive game. It was very competitive, actually. Actually, he was leading in the game by 1 point. And, you know, I just got him with a little funky checkmate, funky setup, and he fell for it. So let me show y'all this game, how it all happens. One of my more recent, interesting games. All right, check it out. All right, folks, here we go. Let's see, let me zoom in. All right, y'all see that? All right, I'm white. He was black. Here we go. Threaten this pawn. I'm always trying to get those pieces out early. That's usually the moves I always make, because I want to try to castle early as possible. That's been helping me out lately with wins, castling early. Okay, so I'm also learning how to predict my opponent's moves. You know, predict the moves that they're going to make in the future. Try to predict their next 5 moves or their next 5 options, and think about, you know, situations that they could put me in the future, and try to avoid those things from happening. Sometimes I make moves and I don't really look at it from my opponent's perspective. Alright, so I move my pawn up, just basically trying to move some of these pieces up over here to get up over here and do some damage in the future. That's what I was thinking about. But he was doing a lot of good. He protected his pieces really well. I really couldn't do much. So I said, you know what, fuck it, let me just get him out the way. He moves down when threatening my knight. I move my knight back down because I see that this side over here is kind of weak, with his knight, his queen, and his bishop all coming down here. So I wanted to bring my knight back down to provide some protection over here. He moves his queen down. So I figure I'm gonna fork your queen. So he had to move, and that's what he did. And you can't get a checkmate now with that queen and bishop, because my bishop right there. So I said, fuck it, let me just get that bishop off the board. Alright, so next, I move back, take him. I'm leading in the game now 7-6, but it's still a close game. Now he's forcing a checkmate again. So I had to move my pawn up. He moves his pawn down. I threatened his queen because I felt eventually he was going to try to bring that bishop down here some way in a couple moves by moving that knight somewhere out the way. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to just force his queen to back up, and that's what I did. He moved over. I moved up. Why exactly did I move up? I can't really figure out why I moved up. But he came down, took him. I took him. He moved over there, took him, and then boom, I got his knight. So now that was a 3-2 exchange. I got more pieces and more out of that exchange than he did. So now I'm only leading by 3 points. He has to move his queen. I put him into check. He moves down. I move my queen up. Give him my pawn protection. He moves his pawn down. He's really good at protecting his pieces. Then I move my queen over now. He moves down. I move up, put him into check. And this is the bad move that I made right here. But this is how I set him up. Look at this funky setup right here. It was a bad move, but a good move on my part because I seen what I did. It was a funky setup. Now, he could take the bishop, but he'd be risking a checkmate. What he should have did was moved his queen up 2 on the white square to avoid a checkmate. But that's not what he did. What he did was got greedy and took the bishop. And then I moved over, put him into check. He took my rook. I took his rook. You know what that means, right? Check motherfucking mate. Checkmated them. And that was all she wrote, folks. You know, I beat him, set him up real good. He got greedy and took the bishop with his queen, when what he really should have done was probably moved his queen up 2 on the white square to give his king some protection. I would have fucked him up anyway, but you know how us Philly boys do it. Put it down. Peace.